The detention block reeked of ozone and fear, and Lieutenant Corin Drake hung suspended in magnetic restraints, his combat suit shredded and streaked with blood from the ambush that had gone catastrophically wrong 3 days prior. A mission meant to be routine extraction now twisted into a nightmare, as the Krellian enforcers had captured him and the young Valkyrie cub he had been assigned to protect. Corin's eyes flicked across the corridor to the smaller cell where Kale sat motionless, amber eyes glowing faintly in the dim light, a predator in miniature form who had spent months observing Corin and learning human customs but now exuded the quiet lethal precision of his apex species, the Valkyrie, who hailed from a brutal death world whose jungles had made Earth look tame. And though Kale was barely into adolescence by Valkyrie standards, he was the living embodiment of the predator in training. And as one of the Krellians hissed, waving a crackling blue stun rod in Corin's face and demanding the location of the Coalition fleet, Corin spat blood onto the floor and spat back, "Go to hell," only to have the rod slam into his ribs, sending jolts of voltage that made every nerve fire in agony and forced a strangled scream past his teeth. But even as his vision blurred and whitened at the edges and he tasted copper and ozone, a single word cut through the chaos. "Stop." Spoken from Kale's cell in flawless Coalition standard, but with a weight that made even hardened enforcers hesitate, a tone that was neither pleading nor questioning but the pure inevitability of a predator declaring its presence. The enforcer laughed mockingly, turning toward Kale's cage to dismiss the threat, asking if it hurt to watch his protector suffer, and Corin saw something he hadn't expected. Something deeper than anger, colder, more calculating than anything human, as Kale slowly rose, posture straightening to mirror the hunting stance of his ancestors, claws tracing patterns against the cell barrier, amber eyes fixed, an aura of lethal intelligence radiating from a juvenile yet centuries-old species instinct, and he spoke softly, almost conversationally, reminding the enforcers that Corin had shielded him from a hail of plasma rounds during the initial ambush, sacrificing himself without hesitation, and that humans, of all species, practiced the strange, dangerous art of loyalty and pack mentality, a lesson the Valkyrie respected and feared. The lead enforcer sneered, insisting that Kale was trapped, powerless, that there was nothing to fear from a cub, but Kale's grin widened, serrated teeth flashing in dim light, voice calm but charged with threat, reciting the Valkyrie creed of memory, of remembering every scent, face, and voice, and declaring that a debt had been incurred, one balanced only by the enforcer's immediate reckoning. And as he pressed a clawed hand to the energy field, sparks danced across the force barrier, and it sputtered, dying in a cascade of arcs. And Kale stepped out with feline grace, moving faster than the eye could follow, disarming and incapacitating the enforcers in a symphony of precise, controlled violence that left 4 of them alive but broken, and standing over the leader with one claw hovering just above a vital organ, he whispered, "Let's see how long they last with one kidney," only for Corin to shout, "Kid, don't," and Kale hesitated, the predator instinct and the lessons of humanity clashing, before stepping back, acknowledging that balance did not require vengeance, and he turned to melt the magnetic restraints on Corin's suit, heating the claws just enough to release the locks, the warmth radiating faintly across Corin's skin as he fell to the floor with a relieved groan, as they began their slow, cautious retreat toward the exit, leaving groaning enforcers behind. Kale's grin softened, amber eyes meeting Corin's with warmth, and he explained that the scariest weapon wasn't death, but the knowledge of what could have been done, a mercy that haunted their enemies more than any weapon ever could. And Corin laughed despite the pain, slinging an arm around Kale's small but formidable shoulders, realizing the galaxy had long feared human resilience and stubbornness, but had neglected to notice the lessons humans imparted to others, that loyalty, courage, and tactical restraint could be taught, and in a generation or two, the Coalition would be profoundly changed by the children of this moment, by the cub who had learned from a human how to wield mercy as power. And as they stepped through the corridors of the abandoned enforcement block, the echoes of Krellian screams and the silent awe of surviving prisoners reminding them that survival was both an art and a lesson, Corin whispered, "Kid, you're going to make one hell of a diplomat," and Kale tilted his head in that familiar Valkyrie thoughtful gesture, responding softly, "I learned from the best, Lieutenant." And Corin realized that in this galaxy, humans weren't just survivors, they were teachers of resilience, architects of unexpected justice, and that sometimes the most dangerous thing was a human who refused to quit and the alien who had learned everything from watching them, a story that needed to be remembered, shared, and celebrated. So if you enjoyed this tale of loyalty, cunning, and HFY heroism, hit that subscribe button to join the channel. Because more stories of humans shaping the stars in ways no one expects are uploaded regularly, and you won't want to miss what comes next, as the galaxy waits for those who dare to teach through courage, compassion, and a little bit of chaos.